everyone! So this is part 3 of my eye makeup decluttering, and today I'm going to be tackling my single eyeshadows. I've already done my brow products and my eyeliners, so links to those videos will be posted down below. I have a lot of single eyeshadows and I actually held on to a lot of them after my initial declutter, but I haven't used many of them at all. I think I've only reached for maybe 1 or 2 since doing the initial declutter, and that was I think 6 months ago. So it's time to go through them again with a more edited eye and try to let go of some. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the footage. I have a bunch up top that I've never used, and I think I will be keeping those. So the ones that I want to keep that have never been opened include the Stila eyeshadow in Kitten. Curious about this because I've heard such good things about it. This is a Faro eyeshadow. It's a loose shadow and I tend to wear this type of color a lot. It's kind of just like a sandy type color, an all over base color if you will. So I'm going to hang on to this as well. I think I'm also going to hang on to this MAC eyeshadow for the time being. This is in the shade Swiss Chocolate and it's a matte shadow. I don't reach for my single eyeshadows very often because I have so many palettes, as you will see, but I'll keep this for the time being. This eyeshadow is from Be a Bombshell. This is in the shade Dancing Queen, which is basically a silvery type color. I think I do want to keep this. I like this type of shade, so I'm gonna hang on to this for now as well. These next 4 shadows are matte shadows that I received from Revlon, and I did pick these shades myself, so I think I will hang on to them because they are all matte, and the colors are right up my alley because, like I said, I did pick them. So the shades I have are Grege, Charcoal, Blush, and Chocolate. This next shade is from Lorac and it's in the shade Pewter. I actually have this shade already in my Pro palette, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one go, even though I love this shade. This one here is from the brand Face Stockholm. I got this in one of my beauty boxes. I think it was Wantable, and it's just a really nice kind of like nude color. Nothing much to it. It'd be a good all over base color. It might work as a highlight. So I'm gonna hang on to this because colors like this I do tend to go through because they're very versatile. Next up I have this eyeshadow from Essence, and I do like this one. It is quite old though, but it's so pretty. Kind of the eyeshadow equivalent of my Velvet eyeliner by NYX. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. Next up, I have this eyeshadow from La Bella Donna, and this is in Sultry Olive. I wore this a bunch when I first got it, and I still really like it. It's kind of got that pewter look to it, but it's got an olive lean to it. I think it's really pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and hang on to that one as well. And I should mention, this is my second time going through my eyeshadows, so I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to let go of, but let's just continue and see. This is a Starlux pigment and I really do like this, but I don't use loose pigments very often. I'm keeping the Faro one because I know I'll be able to get through it. This shade is in Cinnamon Toss and it's literally stunning, but I really don't think I'm going to be using it very much. And I haven't reached for it since the last time I did my eye makeup declutter, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pass this on. I have 2 Starlux potted eyeliners, I guess. This one I'm actually nearly done. I used to wear this all the time. I actually do love this eyeliner. It's in the shade Sculpture, so I'm going to hang on to this and maybe I'll put this in one of my finish projects. This one in Milky Way though I have not used at all, and I don't see myself using this in the future, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. These 2 cream eyeshadows are from Flower Beauty, and I remember wanting to get my hands on these so much when I first heard about them, and I finally picked them up and I wore them probably all of a handful of times and I haven't reached for them since. So I'm going to go ahead and let both of these go. One of them is in Orchiding Around and the other one is in Midnight Garden. This is a gold eyeshadow from Bella Pierre Cosmetics and it's in the shade Celebration. This is a loose pigment again, and I don't really use these very often, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this. Another loose pigment, this is in Island, but I do see myself wearing this. It's one of those neutral shades, so I'm gonna keep this for the time being. This is yet another loose pigment, a beautiful shade, like a charcoal shade that has a lot of dimension to it because it's got an iridescent quality to it. But again, I don't use my loose pigments, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Yet another loose pigment. This one is beautiful as well. It's in the shade Gunshot. It's so complex. It's kind of like a chocolatey, rich brown, but it has a little bit of a violet hue to it, or an eggplant type hue. It's beautiful, but I have so many naked palettes that I can probably dupe this shade pretty easily, and again, I don't use loose pigments very much, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this, and this is by Brazen Cosmetics. This is a little product from Starlooks, and it's basically a copper pigment. I think you can use this on your body, but I never ever reach for this, so I'm gonna say goodbye to this. This is another loose shadow. It's by the company Ofra, and it's the Diamond Glitz shade. This is another beautiful, beautiful pigment. Very complex. It's got iridescence to it, but again, I never ever use this, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Next up, we have this eyeshadow by Perry Beauty. This is a really pretty shade. I don't know why I don't reach for it more often, probably because I have too many eyeshadows in my collection. I think I'll keep it for now and see if I reach for it, even though I haven't in the past 6 months or so. Next, we have two eyeshadows from Bare Minerals. This one here is in Glamtastic, and it's basically another loose eyeshadow. It's really, really pretty though. It's kind of got that nude look to it, but it's got a little bit of shimmer. I think I will hang on to this one. And then this one is in Glitz, and this one is also really pretty, very, very sparkly. It reminds me a little bit of Gunshot by Brazen Cosmetics. I did really like it on, so I think I'm gonna hang on to this one for now since I'm letting go of so many pigments already. This is by Mica Beauty, and this is a shimmer powder. Again, another beautiful pigment, but I don't really reach for this type of product, so I'm gonna let this go. This is an eyeshadow by NYX. It's in the shade Antique Gold, and I don't reach for this shadow very often. Here's what it looks like. I think I got this in my swap with Sarah Nicole Bear. It is quite pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna reach for it. Maybe I'll hang on to it for now and see if I reach for it. This is an eyeshadow from Starlooks. It's basically a very deep blue. It's like a navy blue color. I think it's really, really pretty. It's funny because it's pigmented on my fingertip, but it doesn't really translate into the swatch. So here's what it looks like, but I think I will keep this for the time being because it's just really pretty. I have two Annabelle shadows. This one here is in matte black, and it's fairly pigmented. It's nice for like a smoky eye look. And then the other one I have is kind of like a charcoal type color. It is shimmery, so very pretty. It's a nice shade, but I have so many that are like this, and I have so many palettes. I've literally had these two eyeshadows since I think 2010, so maybe it's time to let them go. These last 5 eyeshadows are all by MAC, and I do like them all, so I'm gonna keep them all. This first one here is in Royale, and it's basically a bright blue, but it's a matte shade. So that is what it looks like. This next one is also a matte shade. It's in the shade Fig 1. It's a beautiful purple. Really nice, like eggplant color. So that's what that looks like. This one here is in Handwritten, and this is actually one of the matte squared shades, which I believe are discontinued, and Fig 1 was also matte squared. So let me see here. This finger looks okay. So this is really pretty. Like that one a lot. This is Plumage, and it's a really nice kind of charcoal color, but it's got a hint of teal to it. I don't know if you can tell on camera. So that is what it looks like. I don't know if the camera's picking up the teal or the green in that shade, but it's really pretty. And finally, this is Carbon by MAC. Just basically a matte black. and I don't find that one particularly pigmented. So here is what I'm hanging onto in terms of single eyeshadows. Everything fits in here now, even the ones that I have not used yet but that I want to try. And then here are the ones I'm letting go of. In total, I'm letting go of 13 eyeshadows, so I think I did pretty well this round. So that is it for my decluttering of my single eyeshadows. I think I did pretty well, although I am still keeping a lot and I'd like to pare it down even further down the road. But let's just see how I do over the next little while with reaching for these. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My last segment of this series will be posted shortly. That will be on my eyeshadow palettes. And until I see you next time, please take care and bye for now.